Colorado, which is a bedroom community right along the loop around the city. And we now have information from the reporting of the Denver Post newspaper and denverpost.com. If you could bring that to me, I'd appreciate it. The latest that we have is, according to the reporting of the Denver Post, other students in the cafeteria at Centennial at this high school. A dispatcher with the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office said Friday afternoon there had been a shooting. The reports of this shooting and a fire was the initial reporting. And look at live pictures here with students coming out of the side of the building with their hands in the air just behind this tree. I think we should stay with this, folks. The reporting that we're getting indicates this happened in the cafeteria. And I am not blind to the memory of the shooting that happened at Columbine. As everyone knows, that happened in the cafeteria, and there was a lot more to follow. So if the Denver Post reporting is accurate and this shooting happened in the cafeteria, and now we have these very familiar scenes of students coming out of the building with their hands in the air, you can only imagine what this was like for these children. If the Denver Post reporting is correct and suddenly a student is firing off rounds in the cafeteria during the school day, it would have to bring back memories, at least for their parents, of that horrible day in Littleton when we had such a familiar scene. These pictures with the kids with their hands in the air, it's to err on the side of caution. In this part of Colorado, they developed specific protocol, what will be done, what the instructions will be, will handle should they school or a family place where lots of people gather. And we were covering this training for people. And this is SOP, as the police would put it, standard operating procedure, hands in the air. And look at this, everyone being frisked here, making sure that nobody else has any sort of weapon. This protocol was put together over a period of months and even years, if my memory serves. And this is exactly how they planned that it would happen if there were another incident of that kind. And you can see these kids here in short sleeve shirts and khakis here, and a police security officer, it says on the back, security, coming up to frisk them all. So each one is frisked, as we can see from these pictures in the helicopter, turned around, frisked again, and then allowed to move on. And the others are in the line waiting, and it looks like some of these girls are consoling each other. I wish that I had answers to you about what happened with this student. The reports from the Denver Post are one student shot two other students. There are other reports from other agencies, which I cannot confirm, which Alicia Acuna mentioned here, of a Molotov cocktail in some way being involved. I have no reports from police on that. In fact, anybody on the news deck, has anything come in officially from police? Mark Heiner, who's in charge out here today, says nothing at all from the sheriff's office there in Arapahoe County, nothing at all from the Centennial, Colorado Police Department, nothing at all from Arapahoe High School, this school of some 2,000 in Centennial, except these pictures, which are as familiar. Frankly, it's really sending chills down my spine. On that dark day in Littleton, I was there a few hours after this happened. With police with their guns drawn as students come out of school, obviously here to protect in the event there's more to this than they know, erring on the side of caution. But on that day, we arrived as students were still wandering about this property, and after all of us had watched this video of kids with hands in the air all day and just dumbstruck by what had happened, the tears that were flowing on that campus, it's our hope and prayer at this point that whatever it is that happened in there, that injuries, if there are any, are not life-threatening, and that these kids are going to be fine, and that this scene in this library is not something that will stay with these students forever. But I don't know about you, but never in my days in high school did you ever have to come out, thank God, with your hands in the air. That's not an imprint for me. But you would have to imagine that a not so cold day, a lot of kids in short sleeves, but still some snow on the ground there in Centennial, walking out single file by the thousands with your hands in the air, because according to the reporting of the Denver Post, a student has taken a shot at a couple of kids. Rick Leventhal is going to come into studio and give us a little bit more of what we have. Mark Heiner is indicating to me, who's in charge on the news deck this afternoon.